Sometimes you wake up and you feel a little bit off, like nothing's quite right. You're tired even though you've gotten a full night's sleep. You look in the mirror and your hairline is looking especially receded today. You haven't managed to lose any weight lately, even though it shouldn't be about that. You should have a healthy relationship with yourself, and you should stand firmly against these unrealistic standards imposed by society. So you suck for even feeling bad. You feel especially uninspired lately. Like no video you could make right now could creatively fulfill you. You feel like a fraud a little bit, like you're not a real artist, you're not a creator, you're barely a YouTuber. You're kind of just pretending to know how to cook on the internet. You're kind of just pretending to be everything you think you are. Like no one's gonna click this video, you didn't make a silly, exaggerated face in the thumbnail, and retention's gonna suck. This intro is way too long. I think Mr. Beast would be disappointed. But anyways, this is what I cook when I feel that way. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, all that negative self-talk can really overwhelm me at times, and even though it's mostly nonsense, except for the hairline part, that one's real, I can't seem to shake it off and I can get kinda stuck into my thoughts. My life is pretty chaotic nowadays, lots of mixed feelings, lots of happiness, but also lots of stress and pressure from everywhere all at once. And I'm sure all of you can relate. Sometimes I kinda just wanna not do anything about anything and just be. I find joy in the process of cooking. It connects me with the moment and it makes me feel like that's the only thing that matters. Especially when I'm cooking for myself and loved ones or friends. And please understand, I'm using cooking as a means to connect with myself rather than feeding my negative headspace with mindless eating. Although I've also done that before, just being honest, don't do that. This dish here is my comfort meal nowadays. I make it for myself, my friends, and the people I love. It's very satisfying to make and it just hits the exact right spot every time. It's both light and satisfying, easy but just challenging enough to make it fun, and there's plenty of room for error. Even if you completely mess it up, you're still gonna have an amazing meal, I promise. All the magic is gonna happen in this Dutch oven. I highly recommend getting one, although if you don't have it, it's completely fine. Just use any pot that can be put in the oven. I thought a lot about whether or not to make this video. It shows a completely different side of myself. I would argue a more real side, and I'm sure some people will be turned off by that and be like, make this national dish, it'll be a 10 out of 10. We don't care about your feelings. But honestly, I think what's making me feel this way is this conflict between what I want to create and what I think most people want to watch from me. And I came to the conclusion that it shouldn't really be about that. I will make what I think are good and fun videos and have that as my absolute top priority. But back to this Dutch oven, I live in the Netherlands, so they just hand these out for free, so I'm in luck. I throw in some cherry tomatoes, some red bell pepper that I chopped up, and a bunch of garlic cloves. Who's counting? I also like to throw in some fresh basil right now, also some salt and olive oil to just coat everything, and also just a little bit of sugar to enhance that flavor. And for now, that's all the work. Just transfer it into the oven for about 30 minutes at 220 Celsius. And while these flavors are roasting and developing, you can kind of sit and take a breath. It's all gonna be okay, except your hairline. And when this comes out, first of all, look at it. It looks beautiful and caramelized, and all the flavors are just waiting to be combined. So take out an electric mixer and go to town. Blend this to a relatively smooth sauce and adjust salt levels if needed. And now we gotta use this sauce for something, right? You can go for pasta, you can even drink this sauce just like this if you so desire, but gnocchi is ultimate comfort for me. It's also fun to say, gnocchi. You could make your own, but honestly, when I'm kind of in a rush, these pre-made gnocchi are really not bad at all. Just boil them for a couple of minutes until they float up to the top and throw them in a hot pan coated with some olive oil. And they were really sticking to the stainless steel pan, so I just transferred them to a separate pan to not deal with the stickiness. But it's all good. Just let them sit like that for a minute until they develop some browning or just a little bit of crispiness. And now throw in a ladleful or so of the sauce, just so it nicely coats the gnocchi. I said that word way too many times. And come on, that looks very nice. Just deposit it into a bowl or a plate. And if you're feeling fancy, you can add some burrata for a rich and creamy touch. And of course, some more fresh basil. And honestly, you can't really not love this, especially when you eat it with the right people or just alone. That's also fine. And I like to eat it slowly and really think about every bite and just allow myself to enjoy it and be there with my food. Thanks for watching this kind of weird, different video, guys. Just want to say I have a cookbook coming out and I'm really proud of it. It's called Tasty, Healthy, Cheap. It has a bunch of recipes that I made and my own photography also. This could be a really cool gift for anyone who's going into college or who's just getting into cooking. So pre-order right now. Also, if you want to support me. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you next time.